What Avada Kedavra does. Avada Kedavra is a killing curse that causes immediate death to any living target it strikes. Upon successful casting, the victim dies instantaneously without physical injury or visible trauma. The spell is characterized by a flash of green light and a distinctive rushing or whooshing sound. It bypasses the body's normal biological systems by halting life entirely through magical means rather than inflicting physical damage. Victims collapse as if suddenly lifeless, often without any sign of struggle or pain. Because of its complete and instantaneous lethality, it is considered the most dangerous spell in the wizarding world. Spell classification: Unforgivable Curse. Avada Kedavra is legally designated as one of the 3 unforgivable curses under wizarding law, alongside the Cruciatus Curse and the Imperious Curse. These curses were officially classified as such by the Ministry of Magic in 1717. The use of any unforgivable curse on another human being is punishable by a life sentence in Azkaban prison. The unforgivable curses are considered intrinsically evil due to their extreme violation of another person's body, mind, or life. Unlike many spells, which may vary in moral application, the killing curse serves no defensive or healing purpose. Its use marks a witch or wizard as committing an act of murder through magical means. The mechanics of the spell. Casting Avada Kedavra requires more than simply saying the incantation and pointing a wand. The spell demands a high level of magical power, concentrated will, and an intent to kill without remorse. If the caster lacks the necessary magical strength or mental commitment, the spell will either fail to cast or produce no more than a green spark. For example, during classroom demonstrations in Goblet of Fire, Barty Crouch Jr., disguised as Mad-Eye Moody, explains that most Hogwarts students could not cast it successfully even if they said the words. This makes Avada Kedavra a spell typically reserved for advanced, dangerous, or dark wizards, and not something easily replicated by novices or non-malicious casters. Avada Kedavra is unblockable. Unlike most magical spells, Avada Kedavra cannot be blocked by protective enchantments or shield charms such as Protego. There are no known magical counter curses that can intercept or neutralize the killing curse mid-flight. Its trajectory cannot be altered or diverted once cast. The only reliable defenses are physical obstruction, such as placing a solid object between the caster and the target, or outright evasion. In battle scenarios, victims who survive typically do so by ducking, dodging, or by the curse striking a non-living object first. This makes it uniquely dangerous compared to most combat spells, which can typically be shielded or reversed. Known uses in canon. Avada Kedavra is used numerous times in the original book series, almost always by dark wizards. The first major instance is Lord Voldemort's attempted murder of baby Harry Potter, which results in the curse rebounding and destroying Voldemort's body. He later uses it to kill Frank Bryce, Bertha Jorkins, and countless unnamed victims. Peter Pettigrew uses it to murder Cedric Diggory during the graveyard resurrection scene. Severus Snape casts it to kill Albus Dumbledore in an agreed-upon plan between them. In the Battle of Hogwarts, Voldemort uses it against Harry in the Forbidden Forest, and again during the final duel. Bellatrix Lestrange, Barty Crouch Jr., and other Death Eaters are seen or implied to use it repeatedly. These uses underline its role as a symbol of finality and evil throughout the series. The Harry Potter exception. Harry Potter is the only known wizard to survive the killing curse. When Voldemort cast Avada Kedavra at the infant Harry, the spell rebounded due to a powerful magical protection created by Harry's mother, Lily Potter, who sacrificed her life out of love. This act of self-sacrifice triggered a deep, ancient magic that Voldemort did not understand, and it caused the curse to backfire. Instead of killing Harry, it destroyed Voldemort's physical form, reduced him to a bodiless entity, and left Harry with only a lightning-shaped scar. This unique case is the foundation of the entire series and sets Avada Kedavra apart as a curse with one recorded failure, made possible only through sacrificial protection. The Rebound and Horcrux effect. When Avada Kedavra rebounded off baby Harry, it not only destroyed Voldemort's body, but also caused a fragment of Voldemort's soul to latch onto the only living thing in the room, Harry himself. This accidental soul attachment turned Harry into an unintentional Horcrux. Voldemort, unaware of this, did not realize that part of his own essence resided in Harry for years. As a result, Harry developed an involuntary psychic connection with Voldemort, including the ability to perceive his thoughts and feel his emotions. The Rebound event remains the only known instance in magical history where the killing curse resulted in the destruction of the caster's body and the creation of a Horcrux simultaneously. Etymology and origins of the spell. The incantation Avada Kedavra is believed to originate from the ancient Aramaic phrase Avada Kedavra, meaning, "let the thing be destroyed." This is also the root of the more familiar abracadabra, which historically served as a healing charm or protective spell. J.K. Rowling has confirmed that she deliberately inverted the meaning, transforming a phrase associated with curing illness into one that causes death. This linguistic twist underscores the dark nature of the spell and its symbolic reversal of traditional magical phrases. Unlike whimsical or pseudo-Latin incantations found elsewhere in the wizarding world, Avada Kedavra's origin is rooted in real-world mystical language. Use in dark arts and philosophy. Avada Kedavra is more than a technical spell. It represents a philosophical alignment with the darkest aspects of magic. To use the spell successfully, the caster must fully embrace the act of killing without hesitation or moral conflict. This requirement makes the spell a defining characteristic of dark wizards, especially those associated with Voldemort and the Death Eaters. The curse eliminates the possibility of negotiation, redemption, or restraint. It is designed for one purpose only. In magical ethics, the use of Avada Kedavra signifies a complete rejection of the sanctity of life and an acceptance of magic as a tool for domination and death. Nonverbal casting. While most spells in the wizarding world are taught using spoken incantations, skilled and powerful witches and wizards can cast Avada Kedavra non-verbally. This form of spellcasting requires even greater magical control, mental discipline, and focus. Lord Voldemort is known to have used Avada Kedavra silently on several occasions, relying solely on his will and intent to produce the lethal effect. Non-verbal casting of the killing curse significantly increases its danger, as it offers no audible warning to the target. It also makes it more difficult to detect who cast the spell in a crowded environment, such as a battlefield or duel, giving the caster a tactical advantage. Magical creatures and Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra is lethal to almost all living creatures, not just humans. In Goblet of Fire, the curse is demonstrated on a spider, killing it instantly with no visible damage. However, some magical creatures are believed to be resistant or immune to the curse due to their unique properties. For example, phoenixes, which are capable of regenerating from death through rebirth, may survive or recover from the curse in ways not fully understood. There is also speculation that highly enchanted beings, magical constructs, or those protected by ancient magic might not be affected in the usual way. However, such resistance is rare and largely theoretical within the canonical material. Avada Kedavra in Wizarding Law. Under Wizarding Law, casting Avada Kedavra on a human being is an automatic sentence to life imprisonment in Azkaban, without the possibility of parole. This legal status is tied to the spell's classification as an unforgivable curse. However, during wartime or in extraordinary circumstances, exceptions have occurred. For instance, during the First and Second Wizarding Wars, Aurors, dark wizard hunters employed by the Ministry of Magic, were granted special license to use unforgivable curses, including Avada Kedavra, against Death Eaters. These exceptions were highly controversial and viewed by some as morally compromising, even when used in defense. The legal ban remains one of the strongest in magical jurisprudence, reinforcing the spell's reputation as an act of irredeemable violence. Avada Kedavra in Dueling and Warfare. In combat scenarios, Avada Kedavra is considered the most aggressive and final option available. Its use in duels is both feared and controversial. Death Eaters frequently employed it during both Wizarding Wars to kill without resistance or retaliation. In contrast, members of the Order of the Phoenix and other defenders of Hogwarts rarely used it, preferring non-lethal spells to disarm or incapacitate. The curse's unblockable nature and instant lethality make it highly effective in surprise attacks or ambushes, but it is less effective in fast-paced combat where mobility and physical barriers can prevent a successful strike. Because it requires significant magical energy and emotional focus, repeatedly casting Avada Kedavra in a prolonged battle may be unsustainable for most wizards. Cultural fear and reputation. Within the wizarding world, Avada Kedavra is not only feared for its effect, but also for what it represents. Merely hearing the words spoken aloud often provokes panic or silence, even among experienced witches and wizards. Its association with Lord Voldemort and the Death Eaters has cemented its role as a cultural symbol of terror, tyranny, and magical extremism. Teaching the spell is heavily restricted, and its demonstration in a Hogwarts classroom was highly controversial, despite being used for educational purposes. The green flash of light it produces has become a visual shorthand for death in magical society. Avada Kedavra is universally recognized as the darkest and most absolute spell in existence, feared not just for what it does, but for the kind of wizard who chooses to use it. And while Avada Kedavra is the most feared curse in magical history, some of the most quietly dangerous spells were never taught at Hogwarts at all. They were invented by one student. Go here next to learn about all 7 spells created by Severus Snape, how they work, where he used them, and why some are even darker than the unforgivable curses.